Good morning, Hendrickson, and welcome to our topic lesson today. Now, last week I asked you to have a look at this painting to tell me what you could see, but also to ask any questions about it. And thank you so much for all the questions that you sent in. What I've done is I've had a look through, and there are a couple of things that are very similar with some of your questions. So I'm going to try and answer them now. The first question was about this, what this house is. Now, this isn't actually a house. It's called a mill. Mill. And a mill, there's a wheel here, and it uses the power of the water. So as the water goes past, it turns the wheel, and then the mill is used to make things. So this mill in particular is used to make materials and cloths. So it'll use the wheel turning on the outside using the water, and on the inside it will spin around, and that will help make the material. Isn't that interesting? Now the next one was, what do we think these guys are doing here? Now I'm not too sure. It looks to me like they're trying to fix something. Maybe they're fixing one of the posts that's going in on the road. Look, there's one here, and it looks like there's another one there that they're trying to fix. The other thing, people were saying, oh, there's lots and lots of trees and fields and things over here, which is great. And there's a river over here. Now this here is called a lock. A lock. And a lock helps stop the water, but also up here the water's a lot higher than down here. And if a boat goes along, there might be a little waterfall and it might break. So what a lock does is you're able to go in your boat along, you go into it, one side's locked and the other side's open, and then what they do is they pull the water down, and then you can come out nice and smoothly. Now if you're able to, what would be fantastic is when we're able to come out of lockdown, you can maybe go and see a lock. There's one definitely in Maidenhead, and what we will try and do, we'll try and go and see one as well. So that is a lock. The most important thing that lots of you asked about were what these boys were doing here. Now it gets a bit dark down here, doesn't it? So I'll try and show you up here. We can see a boy on a horse, and then another one pulling on a rope. Now we already discussed that this is in the olden days, because we wouldn't normally wear clothes like this, would we? And that's a big clue as to what they're doing. They don't have machines in these days. So what they're doing is they've got a rope over here attached to a boat, and they're actually pulling that boat along because there are no engines and no motors. So this horse is attached to the rope that's pulling the boat along the river. And that leads us on to our next part today. We're going to look at how horses are used in farming back in the olden days and what farming looks like today. I'm about to show you some pictures, so bear with me, I'll see you there in just a minute.
Right, Hendrickson, here we go. We're going to talk about different types of farming. Now, on the screen here, we can see lots and lots of sheep. And what do you think sheep are useful for? There's a clue in the picture in the bottom corner. Yeah, we use sheep to get wool. Yeah, so this is called pastoral farming. Pastoral farming. And this is where we get the wool. We get it from, we shear them, we take off all their woolly fur, and we use it to make wool. Now, in the Flatford mill, this is exactly what would have happened. So maybe in all of those green fields we could see, there might be some sheep around so that they can then use them to get the wool. That's one type of farming. The next type is other types of farms are used to grow food, such as fruits, vegetables, and wheat. This is known as crop farming. Crop farming. So you might see lots and lots of fields with lots of plants growing, and this is where we get our fruits and vegetables from. If you are able to go out maybe for a drive or something like that, you might be able to find some of the crop fields not too far away from here. There are also some places where you can actually go and pick your own fruit and vegetables. So maybe when we come out of lockdown, that could be something that you could go and do. You could pick your own fruit and vegetables. This is known as crop farming. Now, some farms are open to visitors coming to learn more about animals. Have you visited a farm like this? If you have, maybe you can ask your mums and dads if there are any pictures of you at the farm like this. And again, when we come out of lockdown, maybe you could try and go to a farm like this with your mums and dads. Okay. Now, in the past, this is where it links to our picture, people didn't have machines. They had to use tools using their hands. So they had to take out the weeds from the ground, but they also had to make sure that they dug up lots of holes. This is called cultivating. Cultivating. Okay. So they had to dig these lines along so that they could plant all the seeds. And look, just like we said in our picture, they're using a horse. So horses were used instead of machines to be able to pull the machines along to make the holes. Nowadays, we use machines to do this. We have plows. So like ploughing, this is a piece of machinery called a cultivator, and it cuts up the soil and it removes the weeds for you. So no longer are we standing there in a field digging away, but we use a machine to do it for us. But like I say, in the olden days, we didn't have anything like that. So in the past, the farmers had to use the horses to pull along their ploughs, to stir the soil and prepare the field for planting the food and the seeds. Here you can see they've got 3 horses along because that field is particularly tough. So one horse couldn't pull it along enough. Okay, today tractors pull these along, just like the machines in the other picture. So in the past, the farmers had to use lots of different tools to dig up the food. And when it had grown, and this is called harvesting. So once it's all grown, they had to actually go out with their tools and pick everything up, put them in the bucket and take them in. This is called harvesting. But do you think the farmers have to do that these days? No, these days they've got a machine to do that for them. This is a potato harvester. It's pulled along by a tractor, and it digs up the potatoes and separates them from the soil. That's much quicker, isn't it? That's how we can get so many potatoes. And what it also does, if you look in the side of the picture, is it puts it into bags for them as well. That makes it much quicker. Now it's time for a quiz. I would like you to have a look at the pictures and tell me whether it's in the past or the present, whether it's now or whether it's a long time ago. Here we go. Right, is this a picture of now or is this a picture of a long time ago? Yeah, it's a picture of a long time ago, isn't it? Because you can see that there's a horse going along and being the machine on the field. Well done. Next one. What do you think? Now or a long time ago? Yeah, this is a picture now, because you can see he's in a tractor, he's in a machine that's helping him do all the work, isn't he? Fantastic. Next one. Think this is now or in the past? Yeah, it's in the past again, because they've got horses doing the work for them. Fantastic. And the picture's in black and white. What do you think? Now or in the past? Yeah, this one's now, isn't it? Well done, because there's a machine doing the work for them. Although there still needs to be a man in there to control it. It can't do it all by itself. And this one, now or in the past? Yeah, this one's in the past. Again, the pictures are in black and white. They're using a horse, but they're also having to use some tools using their hands as well, aren't they? Fantastic. How about this one? Now or in the past? Present or in the past? Yeah, this one is now, isn't it? Because there's a machine doing the work for them, and this is a potato harvester. Fantastic. Here are your challenges. Number 1, I would like you to see if you could tell me about any different types of farms. Number 2 is, can you tell me the difference between a farm in the past and a farm now? And lastly, I would like you to do a bit of inventing. I would like you to invent a machine that could make farming even easier today. So, for example, this machine helps you pull up potatoes. So I'd like you to have a think. What sort of things do you see on a farm? And what could you make that will make farming even easier? Don't forget to put your work up on Tapestry, and I look forward to seeing it there. Bye.